All right, buckle up, everybody, because today we're diving deep into a topic that's going to stretch your mind a bit. We're talking about the fifth dimension.
Ooh, sounds intriguing.
It is. We're using this article called Signs You Reach the Highest Vibrational State in the Fifth Dimension as our guide. And let me tell you, it gets pretty wild. Think bending time, connecting with the energy of, well, everything, and even a whole new way of looking at abundance.
Okay, I'm hooked already.
Awesome. Now, the article suggests this fifth dimension isn't some far-off mystical place, you know?
Yeah.
It says it's intertwined with our reality.
So the key is what? Raising our vibration or consciousness to tap into it.
Exactly. Like tuning into a different frequency, not climbing some kind of spiritual ladder.
Makes sense.
The first sign the article mentions is this feeling of unshakable peace. But, and this is important, they're not talking about that perfect life, with the perfect job and white picket fence. It's deeper.
Yeah, I get that. More like a deep inner peace that isn't dependent on what's happening around you.
Right on.
Eh.
The article calls it finding stillness amidst chaos.
Reminds me of that Buddhist idea, equanimity, like being able to stay centered no matter what life throws at you.
Absolutely. It's not about avoiding tough stuff, but how we react to it.
Yeah.
Have you ever felt that kind of unshakable peace? What was going on for you when you did?
Oh, for sure. I've had moments where I felt that calm, that everything is as it should be. Often for me, it comes through meditation or even just being out in nature, disconnecting from the noise and plugging into something bigger. It really helps quiet the internal chatter.
I can relate to that big time. Sometimes just being under a tree or walking in the woods totally shifts my perspective, like plugging into a universal energy and remembering everything's connected.
I love that.
And speaking of connection, that's huge in the fifth dimension, according to this article.
We're talking way beyond just your typical relationships here, right?
Yeah. Think feeling deeply connected to nature, like feeling the energy of trees, or even experiencing oneness with a total stranger.
Whoa. Now that's next level connecting.
It is. The article gives this example of walking down a busy street, but you feel this wave of unity with everyone, like you're all part of this, cosmic dance.
Yeah, that oneness idea. It's central to a lot of spiritual traditions. It says beyond our individual forms, we're all connected by this underlying energy, this divine spark.
It really makes you rethink that whole idea of separation we're so used to, doesn't it?
It does.
You know those times you feel a connection with a stranger that you just can't explain? Maybe that's a little peek into fifth dimensional awareness.
Interesting.
And get ready for this. The article then goes on to talk about how time changes in this higher vibration state.
How so? Like it speeds up.
It describes time as becoming fluid, almost like you can shape it. Hours might feel like minutes, or minutes might feel like hours.
So our usual rigid way of thinking about time kind of goes out the window.
Exactly. Imagine approaching your day, your whole life, differently if time wasn't this constant pressure.
That would be something. This fluid time idea connects to being present, doesn't it? Like when you're totally in the moment, linear time kind of melts away.
Yeah. Think about when you're so into something you love that you lose track of time completely. It's like you step outside the clock and into a different experience.
Oh, I've had those moments.
Me too.
Yeah.
I was working on this creative project recently, and I got so lost in it, hours felt like minutes. It was incredible. Must be a taste of what the article's talking about.
Absolutely. Those flow states are powerful, like tapping into a different level of consciousness where time doesn't work the same way.
And the article says in the fifth dimension that effortless flow becomes a way of life. It's not about forcing or struggling, but more like aligning with the universe's rhythm.
Okay, so not just grinding away at something, but trusting things will unfold as they're meant to, surrendering to a bigger picture.
You got it. It's not about being passive, but about shifting from fear and control to trust and allowing. Imagine living your whole life with that ease and flow.
Now that would be amazing.
Right. It's like trading in the life is a struggle story for a life is a dance.
I love that. Really makes you look at where we're holding on to struggle unnecessarily, doesn't it?
It does. My to-do list is looking a lot different already. But if we're flowing with this fifth dimensional view, what happens to effort? Does it become irrelevant?
Well, the article says it's not about ditching effort completely, but changing how we see it. In the fifth dimension, effort aligns with inspiration and joy.
So doing things because we're lit up by them, not because we feel like we have to.
Exactly. It's recognizing that effort can be, well, enjoyable, even exhilarating when it's in line with our true selves.
That makes a lot of sense. And this naturally brings us to a different way of thinking about abundance.
Right. The article talks about abundance as a state of being, not just material wealth.
Yeah, it's about feeling abundant in love, creativity, health, spirituality, all of it.
It really challenges us to expand our definition of abundance beyond just stuff, doesn't it? It's about recognizing the richness of our lives in every area and being grateful for what we already have.
Exactly. Gratitude. It's like a key to unlocking even more abundance, shifting from scarcity to an abundance mindset.
Many spiritual traditions highlight gratitude as a powerful practice.
They do. And it's funny, I often fall into that "I'll be happy when" trap. I'll be happy when I get that promotion, when I find the right person, when I have enough money. But this fifth dimension concept says happiness isn't about those external things. It's about cultivating it from within.
It's a huge insight. Realizing true abundance is an internal state.
It is.
And the article also has us rethink our relationship with our bodies.
Oh, yeah, it talks about treating the body with love and respect, like it's a sacred vessel.
Yeah.
Very different from how many of us treat our bodies in our current society.
It's a big shift. In the fifth dimension, the body isn't separate from our spiritual essence. It's part of our being, an instrument for experiencing life fully.
I think about things like yoga and meditation, where you focus on connecting with the body and honoring its wisdom. It's about recognizing it's not just a physical object, but an essential part of our spiritual journey.
Absolutely. And that can change everything about our health and well-being. When we treat our bodies with that respect, we nourish ourselves on a deeper level.
I'm starting to get that the fifth dimension isn't just changing our thoughts, it's changing our entire way of being, aligning our minds, bodies, and spirits to a higher frequency.
It is. Recognizing we're not just physical, but spiritual beings having a human experience. And as we embrace that, our lives start to reflect the love, peace, and abundance that are our birthright.
Beautifully said. And that brings us to the end of part 1 of our fifth dimension deep dive.
Wow, what a start.
I know, right?
Back again for more fifth dimension exploration. As we go deeper into these signs, we hit this concept that really changes how we think about being human: unity consciousness.
Okay, I'm all ears. What's that all about?
Well, the article says it's a shift, seeing ourselves as separate individuals to recognizing we're all connected, like we're all threads in this big tapestry of existence.
So instead of me versus them, it's more like we're all in this together.
Exactly. Imagine how that changes our relationships, global conflicts, how we treat the planet. It's huge.
It's like that saying, we are all just walking each other home.
Yeah. And the article says this isn't just a thought, it's something you feel, this oneness in every interaction, every breath.
Wow, I can only imagine how powerful that must be. Makes me think of those times you feel a connection with a stranger you can't explain, like a shared humanity thing. Maybe those are glimpses of unity consciousness.
Could be.
And as we embrace this connection, the article says our sense of purpose gets clearer too.
Not something you have to force, though. It just
Yeah.
unfolds naturally as we align with ourselves and the universe. Like, our purpose is a piece of a bigger cosmic puzzle.
Makes sense.
We tune into those higher frequencies of love and light, and our contribution to the world becomes clearer.
So instead of searching for our purpose, we kind of let it come to us.
More like that.
The article also talks about feeling like you're exactly where you need to be, doing what you're meant to do. Have you ever felt that kind of unshakable sense of purpose? Like, even when things are tough, it's all unfolding perfectly.
Oh, yeah. I've had those moments. They often come when I'm following my heart, not what I think I should be doing. It's about trusting that inner compass.
I like that. So maybe purpose isn't about finding the perfect career or achieving some big goal, but just showing up authentically and using our gifts in a way that feels right.
You getting it?
And to align with our true selves, the article says we got to let go of those old patterns that don't serve us anymore.
Right. As we raise our vibration, we naturally outgrow patterns based on fear, scarcity, those limiting beliefs. It's like shedding a skin that doesn't fit anymore.
Constantly outgrowing old versions of ourselves.
I can see that.
So it's looking at those beliefs, behaviors holding us back. Maybe it's fear of failure, needing approval, self-sabotage. What's it like to let go of those old stories?
It's powerful. You become the creator of your reality. You're not run by those unconscious patterns anymore. You rewrite the script.
I love that. Taking back our power, realizing we're not victims of circumstance.
Exactly. And as we step into that power, the article says our creativity flourishes.
Oh yeah, it talks about creativity not just in the arts, but in everything. Expressing our gifts, whatever they are.
Right.
Writing, problem solving, connecting with others, even how we work. We all have that creative spark inside.
That's right. It's like tapping into the universal flow of creative energy and letting it work through us. The article says in the fifth dimension, we're not afraid to be ourselves anymore.
There's freedom in that.
Huge freedom. It's recognizing that our unique expression is important. We all have something to offer.
It's like giving ourselves permission to shine.
It is.
And as we open up to that flow, the article says we become more sensitive too. But not just to sounds or touch, something deeper.
Yeah, it's more like being tuned into the energies around us, other people's emotions, their vibes, like our intuition gets stronger. Sounds amazing, but also maybe a little overwhelming, like suddenly feeling everything so much more intensely.
The article acknowledges that. It says this sensitivity can be tough if we're not grounded in our own energy. Imagine being bombarded by everyone's emotions all the time, especially in crowds. It emphasizes grounding practices, like being in nature, meditating, anything that connects us to our bodies.
So learning to manage our energy so we don't get drained.
Exactly. And setting boundaries, too, both with energy and emotions.
Makes sense. Protecting ourselves but still being open to connecting with others authentically. It's a balance.
It is. And as we become more aware of these energies, our intuition gets stronger, too.
Like our inner guidance system becomes clearer.
Yeah. We learn to trust that gut feeling, and our decisions feel more aligned with our path, not relying on others to tell us what's right, but trusting our own inner knowing.
Wow, I can't tell you how many times I've ignored my gut and regretted it later. The article paints this picture of a life where we make choices from our soul, not from fear or what other people think. That's living in alignment, when our outer world starts reflecting that inner peace, love, abundance we feel.
It's powerful stuff. And if we're always evolving, shedding old patterns, does our purpose change too?
Good question. The article doesn't say that directly, but it hints that our purpose might unfold in layers, It changes as we grow. Not one fixed thing, but an ongoing discovery.
So more about trusting the process and being open to what comes up.
Yeah.
Speaking of new things, the article says in the fifth dimension, we see life as this playground of infinite potential.
That's the abundance mindset, not scarcity, where we think there's not enough for everyone. We see endless opportunities for growth, creativity, joy.
Like trading in those limiting beliefs for ones that empower us.
Exactly. The universe is abundant. There's enough for everyone. We break free from those third-dimensional limits, that competition, that lack mentality. The only limits are the ones we put on ourselves.
It's like putting on a new pair of glasses and seeing the world clearly for the first time. Everything's brighter, more possibilities, more freedom to explore.
And freedom's a big theme in the article.
It is.
It emphasizes that liberation from the third dimension's constraints, not just physical freedom, but mental, emotional, spiritual too. Not bound by expectations, societal norms, those limiting beliefs.
Breaking out of that cage we didn't even know we were in.
Exactly. The article asks, what's it like to be truly free? Free from fear, judgment, all that. How would our lives change if we embrace that right now?
It's a big question. Makes us look at what's holding us back. Confront our fears, question those beliefs, become more self-aware.
And as we embrace that inner freedom, we develop a deeper sense of compassion, not just for others, but for ourselves too.
It's recognizing we're all human, all on this journey together.
Yeah.
And that compassion extends inward as well.
We let go of self-judgment, criticism. We treat ourselves with the kindness we'd offer a friend.
Yeah, that's so important. We're so hard on ourselves. The article asks, how compassionate are we towards ourselves? Do we forgive our mistakes? Or do we hold on to guilt and shame?
That's a good reflection.
It is. And as we cultivate this compassion, the article says our relationships transform too.
They do. We attract soul-aligned connections, people who get us, support us, reflect back that love and light.
So relationships that feel easy, harmonious, deeply fulfilling.
Yeah, no drama, no conflict, just mutual respect, understanding, unconditional love.
Sounds idyllic.
Yeah.
But the article says some relationships might fall away as we raise our vibration.
That's true. Not everyone's ready to come along. Some people might still be operating from those lower energies.
It's not about judging them, but respecting where they're at and honoring our own path.
Yeah.
Maybe some relationships are there for a season, then they naturally end when their purpose is fulfilled.
I like that perspective. The article says to trust that the universe is always bringing us the right people at the right time. As we let go of what no longer serves us, we make space for new, better connections. It's all part of the process. And as we embody those fifth-dimensional qualities, we see the world differently. The article calls it seeing life as a playground of infinite possibilities.
Okay, now that sounds amazing, but what does that actually mean? Is it like getting superpowers or winning the lottery?
It's not about external stuff. It's an internal shift. how we see ourselves, the world around us. We see beyond the limitations of the third dimension. We're creators. We shape our reality with our thoughts, beliefs, actions.
So we're not just watching life happen, we're actively creating it.
Exactly. And we approach it with that sense of wonder, playfulness,
And the challenges become what, like opportunities?
like levels in a game to master.
I love that analogy. It
Hmm.
takes the pressure off. It's about enjoying the journey, ups and downs, all of it. Like that Einstein quote, life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving.
It's about surrendering to the flow, dancing with the universe.
Trusting it's all working out, even when we don't understand why. And the article talks about connecting with our spiritual team too, our guides, angels, loved ones on the other side.
Yeah, it says as we raise our vibration, we tune into those whispers from our spiritual support system. We might get intuitive insights, synchronicities, even direct communication from our guides. We're not alone.
That's reassuring. Maybe those moments of inspiration I get are messages from my guides. And speaking of messages, the article ends with this invitation to connect with our higher selves, our soul's essence.
It says the fifth dimension is about being aligned with our soul's purpose, living from love, joy, abundance. Not a destination, but an ongoing awakening to who we really are.
It's remembering we're divine beings. We have the power to create an amazing life. It's about embracing that journey of self-discovery and letting our true selves shine.
And that's what makes it so exciting. Not about reaching some perfect state, but about growing, expanding, remembering who we are, and stepping into our power.
And we're back for the final part of our fifth dimension deep dive. It's been a wild ride exploring these signs. I'm feeling pretty inspired, ready to put some of this into practice.
I know, right? It's amazing how just thinking about this stuff shifts your perspective.
It really does. And in this last part, we're getting into some seriously transformative stuff. Inner freedom, compassion, that idea of life as a playground of possibilities.
It's going to be good.
So, inner freedom, the article says it's a big part of existing in the fifth dimension, but it's not just about being free from like external rules or whatever. It's deeper.
Right. It's about freedom from those limits we put on ourselves. The fears, doubts, beliefs that hold us back. Recognizing we're not just our thoughts, emotions, past experiences. We're bigger than that.
It's like breaking out of that self-made prison and realizing we can choose our reality.
Exactly.
The article asks us to imagine what it would feel like to be truly free. Like free from fear, judgment, those inner critics that say we're not good enough. How would our lives change if we embraced that freedom right now?
That's the question, isn't it? It's about radical self-acceptance. Accepting our flaws, letting go of control, trusting the universe.
It sounds like a lot of letting go, surrender. But wouldn't that make us, I don't know, passive? Like just letting life happen to us?
Not at all. It actually gives us more power to act, but from a place of purpose. When we're not afraid, we're more likely to follow our passions, take risks, create a life we love. We're inspired, not driven by obligation or fear.
So it's not giving up, it's showing up more fully, more authentically.
Exactly.
And with that freedom, the article says, we start to see life as this playground of infinite possibilities.
It's the abundance mindset in action, not scarcity, where we see limits everywhere. We see opportunities, solutions, potential. The universe is vast, abundant. We can create anything we can imagine.
Okay, now that's exciting.
It is.
I bet this shift changes our relationships too.
Oh, absolutely. In the fifth dimension, relationships become more real, more harmonious, more fulfilling. We attract people who vibe with us, support our growth, reflect back that love and light.
Those people who just get you, No games, just genuine connection. Everyone's open, ready for that deep connection.
Exactly. And it's not just romantic relationships. It's family, friends, community, even our connection with the planet. We see how everything's connected, and we feel compassion for all beings.
That brings us back to compassion, which the article says is huge in the fifth dimension. But it's not just feeling sorry for someone. It's something more.
It's about recognizing that shared humanity. We're all on this journey together, all doing the best we can with what we know.
It's seeing past the surface, the judgments, the labels, recognizing that spark of divinity in everyone.
And that compassion includes ourselves. We practice self-love, forgiveness. We're not perfect, and that's okay.
That's a tough one. We're so conditioned to strive for perfection. But the article says, in the fifth dimension, we realize we're worthy of love and acceptance as we are. No conditions.
It's a big shift.
It is. It's about being kind to ourselves. The article asks, are we compassionate towards ourselves? Do we forgive our mistakes? Or do we hold on to that guilt and shame?
Powerful questions.
They are. And when we cultivate that self-compassion, it impacts everything. We can love others more fully when we love ourselves.
Like they say, you can't pour from an empty cup. We need to fill ourselves up first.
Yeah. And that's a great note to end on. This fifth dimension deep dive, it's left me in awe of what's possible when we raise our vibration, aligned with love, peace, unity.
It's been amazing exploring these ideas together.
It has. And I hope everyone listening is feeling inspired to keep exploring too. This fifth dimension stuff, it's not some far-off concept. It's about how we live right now. So keep that curiosity alive. Keep those vibrations high. And until next time, keep diving deep.